Welcome to BCM Reviews. I'm your host, Brian, and today I'm joined by a guest who hasn't been here for a while. So, hey, Karl, how you been?
I've been good. How about you?
I've been good. Of course, as the title suggests, we are going to be have a spoiler discussion on the new Superman movie that came out last month. So, of course, I had brought Karl in, see what he thinks about it, what he likes, what he doesn't like about the movie, and we'll also talk about the future of the DCU. But before we do that, I'm going to ask that you guys leave a like, comment, share this video, and of course hit the notification button for more videos like this. I know that I haven't been very consistent with my videos, but I'm trying to change that, work on scheduling, be more consistent, but whatever support you guys give me, I'm going to repay that with more videos and shorts and stuff like that. So, Karl, I remember you telling me that you went to go see Superman, I believe, the week after it came out, right?
Yes.
Alright, so without getting to spoilers, what did you think of it?
Honestly, it was like a new start. It's not what I was expecting. The vibe was super friendly. It's it's very welcoming. I like the fact that James Gunn's, that's one thing I like about him. It's his colors. All his movies are super colorful. So it was a good vibe type of movie. It wasn't dark. It was basically it was a good start. The movie, the way that he presented Superman was really comic accurate in my opinion. So I did like it a lot. How about you?
I really liked it. I mean, it's not perfect, but it was a good film. I think it's one of my favorites of the year, and so far from what I've seen, it's a good start to kickstart this new universe. And it's no Iron Man, but it's good enough to where you watch it, you feel very happy, you feel very confident about what you just saw and all of that. So, also a little side note there. I know you'll find this funny, Karl, but I remember I was editing my review that I did by myself, and I don't know what I did. I tried to export my video, but for some reason, it just deleted everything. All the progress that I made, all the videos that I made for my YouTube channel, gone. So I have to start from scratch. So in case
that sucks.
Anybody was wondering why I was taking so long, and that was the reason. So
that's the reason.
Yeah, it is what it is, but
for sure.
Such is life. So let's talk about how we got to this film, Karl. So as we all remember, Man of Steel came out in June 2013, and they were trying to get a sequel started, and of course that sequel was BVS, and there was the whole mess of the entire DCU. And I remember that there was a change at Warner Brothers where they wanted to have their own studio, a DC studio like Marvel Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And of course they found their guy in James Gunn, who made Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. You seen Peacemaker, Karl?
Of course I did.
And what do you think?
It's not my type of It's not like that, but listen, it's not really for me. But it was good though. It was good. Right. Yeah. Well, you get what I mean.
I get what you mean. So, did you? Are you gonna watch season 2?
Debatable. I might. No, I might.
Okay.
It's just weird seeing John Cena as an actor, bro.
What?
Yeah, it is weird.
Okay, I mean, okay. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
So, of course, around that time, Black Adam came out, I believe, 2022. Henry Cavill was in Black Adam. And, he was talking about, we need to talk Black Adam, whatever. And around that time, James Gunn was developing his own movie with a younger actor to play Superman. So they had to let go of him and all of that. And
yes.
With that came a new slate of films for the DCU called DCU Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, and we just heard that this film was basically going to kickstart this entire universe, and all of that. So, what do you think about that, Karl?
But the move?
Yeah, about the move, everything that I've just said.
Honestly, at first it was like risky, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. I thought like at the time I thought like the best possible outcome was like continue what Snyder like started.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But after seeing what he did with Superman, I have a lot of hope. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think DC it's where it needs to be at. So it's a good start. Like Superman just did a excellent job in my opinion. So I trust him, 100%,
Okay.
man. I
Okay.
trust him.
Okay. So let's get into this movie, Carl. What I liked about this movie is that I like the introduction. I like how the film starts. It puts you right in the middle of the action, where it starts with like a text where very similar to Star Wars, where it basically talked about the world, the Superman, the stakes that are at play, and everything. And it very much starts like a comic book. And
Exactly.
the film starts with a battered and bruised Superman. He did his anime pose. What's that character's name?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Okay, neither do I. But it's from a Dragon Ball Z episode where he just like
What color? Like,
no no
how
no
do
no
you
no
look like?
no no just that the scene where like Superman crash lands on the snow, right?
Yeah.
People were saying that he's doing like a I forget the character's name, but it was like Vegeta or something like that, or I don't remember.
Goku?
Maybe like a Goku
Yeah.
pose, like when he's beaten and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this immediately introduces us to a very different Superman, a more vulnerable Superman, a Superman who, as of course the opening text said, is that, he's been Superman for about 3 years and he's just lost his first fight. So it also kind of it's also kind of like it kind of starts like a comic book in a sense.
Yes.
So what do you think of that, Carl, or do you have
I
any other
like.
things to say?
I'm thankful that they actually did that because I didn't want to see like the whole like introduction that Superman came to Earth. Like we
Yeah,
seen
the
that in
origin.
like yeah, we seen that in like so many movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that he skipped that part because everyone knows his story, right? And then we started where his career as Superman just like started, and that's something I like.
Yeah.
And the Superman, one thing I like about him, he's really like realistic. You know, like
Mm.
he opens up about his like feelings. He doesn't like how people talk about him, not as Clark Kent, but as like
Yeah.
Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, I like it because he doesn't act like a god. If you've seen the other like
Henry Cavill.
Superman, yes, this guy was not Superman, bro. That was basically a god,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it shows that he actually did spend 33 years on
On
Earth.
Earth, yeah.
Exactly, because he has human feelings, even though he knows that he's like not like every other humans, but he also has human feelings. So that's something that I can like relate to. So that's why that movie is like kind of special to me at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my sentiments exactly. I think
yeah,
that by doing so, because, usually, I remember back in the day, people would always, we'd make fun of people who are into Superman and stuff like that. We'd say Superman's the boring character and stuff like that. He's too OP
yeah,
and all that stuff. But I think that with this film, and I think this was smart on James Gunn to do, was kind of open the film where Superman's not at his best, he's
yeah,
not at his peak, and I think that kind of allows us to kind of care for the character before like we move into this film and as we kind of
yeah.
jump further into it. So let's talk about the cast, Carl. So we're gonna do the cast like one by one slowly. So what do you think of David Cornsweet as Superman?
I liked him. One thing I like I said before, his character is like really realistic, vulnerable. He's not strong mentally and physically, so that's like a good start, like where we want Superman to be at the moment. So I think like casting him was a good choice, and he looks similar to I forgot his name,
Henry
the old
Cavill,
one. No, 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 the older one from the 80s, the old Superman from the
Christopher Reeve.
yes, just like the physical appearance, and then
I'd say he looks a bit like Henry Cavill mixed with Tom Welling from Smallville.
really,
Yeah.
oh okay, no, no, I can kind of see it, but like I do think like picking him as Superman was a good choice.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that, Carl? I remember think it may have been 2019. I think fall 2019. I remember there was a show called Hollywood on Netflix, and he was in it, and people were saying how he looks like Superman, and stuff like that, and people were like fan casting him, and this is in 2019, and it's so interesting how he remains within the public consciousness, and later on, about 4 years later, he gets cast as Superman. Yeah. And you know what's also interesting, now that you brought up Christopher Reeve, he is a Juilliard trained actor. Mm-hmm. He went to the same school where Christopher Reeve was trained as an actor. So that's one thing that both actors have in common, Christopher Reeve and David Cornsweet. And a little side note there, I don't know if you've seen my video, but Christopher Reeve also was classmates or roommates with Robin Williams, rest in peace. Oh yeah. So that's a very interesting thing. Like for me, what I liked about the Superman, same as you, is that he presents Superman as a very vulnerable character. He presents him as like a really wholesome human being. That he's kind of like the antithesis to Henry Cavill, where with Henry you just were like, I don't know, like
super stoic.
He had that constipated face look, like he was always constipated. Sorry.
I get what you. No, but I get what.
Like especially in Batman v Superman, like if you look at still images, he looked constipated, like.
Yeah, no. I remember, but also you have to remember that his Superman came out at in a different time. At the time, men was like presented as like stoic, strong, mentally strong, physically strong. Yeah, that was
the whole dark, gritty reboot era with
exactly
the Amazing Spider-Man, the Dark Knight trilogy, and stuff like that. So pretty much, he's like the antithesis of Henry Cavill, and I think that was a very smart move in order to kind of usher in a new era for DC. And I'm very interested to see I'm very excited to see more of him as we move forward in the DCU, and how he bounces off characters like, let's say, Batman or Wonder Woman or whoever, and stuff like that.
They haven't casted, huh?
No, they haven't.
This character, not yet. Okay.
Not yet. So up next is Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. This was a fan casting, I believe, either 2019 or 2020 or 2021. What did you think of Rachel?
I'll be honest, not a huge fan. Probably because it's still like the beginning, and I'm like kind of used to like the actress from Smallville. But so far, like she was useful in some scenes.
Mm-hmm.
She was very like determined to her job, and not just that, bro. This girl went above and beyond to go save Superman, bro. So I gotta give her like credit.
Ride or die.
Yeah.
Ride or die.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true. You? Yeah, I liked her. I know that she was in this show on Amazon called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So she's been around. I really liked her. I liked her determination. I really liked her, especially the interview scene that both her and David had. I think that was like the best scene in the movie, in my opinion.
Okay.
How she's kind of holding him accountable for his actions, saying that you can't just go into like a country and do whatever you want. There's like, rules and stuff like that, and she's really kind of bringing that aspect to him, and of course Superman's he's so believes in what he believes in so much that he's like he can't understand what she's saying, but I kind of really admired that scene with both of them
at the apartment, right?
At the apartment, I
remember. Okay,
and
sure.
I don't know, for me, I would have liked to see a bit more of the Clark and Lois dynamic, because we don't see much of Clark in this movie, we just see Superman. Which is okay, but I would have preferred to see what's his life like when he's not, saving the city or, doing that or fighting Lex Luthor or whatever. It's something that I would have preferred to see. What do you think of Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor?
As the number one hater. No, he did an amazing job. He was my favorite character from the movie. He did an amazing job. No, this guy went above and beyond, way further, just to destroy Superman's reputation, not kill him. His reputation, so people can
Mm-hmm.
like hate him. This guy
Mm-hmm.
was a number one hater. He did an amazing job, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
hope in a sequel he comes back because this guy
Yeah.
did carry the movie at
I
some
agree.
part, though.
I agree. I
No,
agree.
did an
I
amazing job.
remember when he first got cast, I said, excellent. And
Yeah,
I remember that there were some people who were doubting him. They were like, I don't know, I don't see him with the bald head. I don't see him as, like, that version. And, Nicholas Hoult has been around for a
no, for
while.
sure.
From the X-Men films, a few others here and there. But his performance reminds me of the Lex Luthor from the 70s, Gene Hackman, and a little bit of Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. I know some people went as far as to compare him with
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg, but
I
I
don't kind of see
disagree.
it.
I don't see it because they're both, I can say, Nicholas Hoult and David Cornsworth, they're like at the same height level.
Yeah,
So you could almost, how can you say, if Superman didn't have any powers, like, both of these guys can get into like a fist fight and stuff like that. But like he reminds me a lot of, yeah, he was like the biggest hater of the highest order. He reminded me a lot of like Kendrick Lamar when he was going at Drake and stuff like that. Like, I hate the
no,
way
for
that you
sure.
walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. And
That's so true.
and honestly, I'm just excited to see more of this Lex Luthor.
Hmm.
I think my favorite scene with him, and I think I don't know. I can't really think of a favorite scene, but I think one of my scenes that really stood out was especially the end where he's just like ranting and just saying how much he hates Superman, and he's telling his I don't know, his team to press 1A in order to control Ultraman. 1A,
He was
1A.
so motivated, bro. He was
He's so
motivated.
motivated. And and then at the end, he gets the shit kicked out of him by Crypto,
Yeah.
which was basically their version of the Avengers scene where Hulk beats Loki.
Low key.
That's what the scene reminded me of. Um,
But I feel like, me personally, they should have added like a backstory between the both of
mm,
them.
I
It
agree.
could have been better, and then it could have made more sense for the
I
way
agree.
he acts. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's just basically Lex as we just see him in the movie. But like,
Yeah.
I agree. I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a backstory as to why he hates Superman particularly.
Yeah.
But it's alright. I didn't really
Yeah.
mind it
No.
as much because I think what James Gunn was going for was that these characters, the comics, the dynamics, so you don't really need to be, how can you say, you're smart enough to catch on pretty much
Yeah.
and stuff
Exactly.
like that. So let's talk about the Justice Gang. We have Nicholas Hoult as Guy Gardner. What do you think of him?
Not what I was expecting. I'll be honest. There's parts that, like, I don't know if you remember, but like when they were fighting the big monster.
The kaiju, yeah.
Yeah. So then Superman was trying to like escort him out of the city,
Hmm.
and then all he wanted was like trying to kill it. And the fact that they actually killed it, and then Superman wasn't happy, it shows that Superman is just a different type of character compared to the other Superman. But his character was interesting in some parts, but I don't really follow him in the comics, so I don't know how he acts.
Oh, no, he's an asshole, pretty much.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Like
okay.
he's a jock, like pretty much like Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, they don't fuck with him at all. Like, fuck this guy.
Really?
Yeah, pretty
Really?
much. So
Okay.
Guy Gardner, he's pretty much he's a jock. There is a comic where it's called Justice League International, where I think Batman has like he's sick of his shit, so he punches him, he knocks him out cold. So yeah, pretty much. And that's something that they did in the cartoon called Batman Brave and the Bold
Okay.
and stuff like that. So pretty much, yeah, I'm very excited. I really liked Guy Gardner as Green Lantern and
Mentor. Yeah.
Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, pretty much because Nathan Fillion he's worked with James Gunn before. in a lot of his old movies and stuff like that, so it would make sense that he would cast him as his character. We're also going to see Guy Gardner in the Lanterns show that's coming out pretty soon, so we'll see him with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. And what did you think of his haircut?
Not it, bro. It was a bowl cut, not it. But hey, I can't hate on it, bro. Like, he did a good job, though. He did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Eddie Gazzegi as Mr. Terrific?
Eddie, I liked him from a long time ago. He was on Twilight.
But yeah, I remember him from
Yeah.
Twilight. I remember him from Twilight.
No, he's a good character. No, I did like him. I liked his dynamic with Lois. You know, even though he didn't know her, he still like went
He's like,
to help her.
I'll help you. I'll help you
Yeah.
out with your shit.
Straight up, no, he's a good guy. No.
Yeah, me too. I liked Eddie Gazzegi. I think that he's one of those actors who, I can say, never really was allowed to shine. He's been in a lot of stuff. Of course, there's X-Men First Class, where they did him dirty, where he was supposed to play, he was Darwin. Essentially, he's a character who can't die, but they killed him anyway, and all of that was foul.
I know, like, overall, I did like his design. I know some people didn't like it because of his eyes. It was supposed to be white, but like
No, they did turn white when he was like when he had his T-spheres.
Yeah.
With the camera and everything, trying to find Superman and stuff like that. So that was cool. Of course, you know, I remember Mr. Terrific from Justice League Unlimited. You remember?
Okay.
He basically was kind of like the he was monitoring the Watchtower as they were as everybody else was on their missions and stuff. Yeah, I liked his suit too. Yeah, so from what I understand, the Justice Gang is kind of like we're not getting the Justice League like set up now. I think that they're trying to build towards it.
Yeah.
But from what I understand is that the Justice Gang are sponsored superheroes under Maxwell Lord, who is another billionaire, who we see in the movie, played by James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense now.
So yeah, they're basically corporate-sponsored superheroes. So honestly, I hope to see more of Mr. Terrific. I think either they give him his own show or spin-off movie. Honestly, I'd like to see more of Eddie Gazzegi, and I think that this role can really put him in like A-list territory. I mean, I hope it does. You know, I hope it does. So another one is Hawk Girl, played by Isabella Merced. I don't feel that she got a lot to do in this movie. I mean, she shined, but she wasn't given a lot to do.
But yeah, I was gonna say the same thing too. Like, she didn't shine as much as I wanted to, but like, it's still the beginning. I'm hoping to see more of her like in the upcoming movies. But like, other than that, she was a good actress. Favorite part is when she killed
the president.
President.
Yeah. Yeah, basically
And
telling you I ain't Superman.
But other than that, like, I don't know, like, she was good. There's really nothing much to say at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, her role was much better than Madam Web.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, and she's been in a lot of stuff like The Last of Us, Alien Romulus, and a lot of stuff. So I think this is like another great role for her resume. The only thing that I'm a little confused by is that which version of Hawkgirl this is, because in the comics there's a lot of versions of Hawkgirl. I'm not entirely sure if this is the version from the animated show, Justice League, so we'll see, I guess.
I was gonna say the same thing too, but the thing that I'm not too sure, it's because she had no love interest. You know how Hawkgirl in the animated show was moving
with Green Lantern Jon Stewart. So who knows? Maybe that might be something that they plan on doing in the future. I don't know. Okay. We'll see.
Let's just wait and see. Yeah, no,
pretty much. So the last one is Metamorpho. Metamorpho is a character who, for those who don't know, he's a character who basically can change his anatomy to basically make different compounds.
Yeah.
He can turn into vinegar and baking soda and to make a volcano or whatever. Like in the movie, we saw him basically turn himself into kryptonite and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, what did you think of Metamorpho?
Bro, for a second I thought that was Marshall, like the Martian
Manhunter. No,
Yeah,
that's not.
That was him. No.
No, that's.
I
not
just
Martian
thought it was
Manhunter.
him though.
No, that
No,
ain't Martian Manhunter. That was a Metamorpho. He was a character who appeared in the Justice League cartoon way back in the day.
yeah, probably because of that. But other than that, like he played a big role.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, they kidnapped his kid, and then he was trying to kill Superman. Well, he was obligated to like make him weak, and then Superman promised him that he's gonna save his kid, and which
Yeah,
he did, and he did help at the end for
that
the
was an ugly
war.
ass baby.
Yo, no cap, bro, no cap. But he did play a big role in the movie. So yeah,
Yeah, so he's another addition to the Justice Gang, and we'll see what he does in the future, pretty much.
yeah, no, for sure.
So, any standout scenes to you that comes to mind, Carl?
I would say there's a character that I thought that was useless, but she was actually useful. Lex's girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Eve Tessmacher.
exactly. Because in every movies, whenever you have a girlfriend, well, a girl like that, she's like mostly like useless, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she was pretending to act stupid just to like get proofs on Lex, and then at the end she did her part. So that's how like Lex got like arrested. Who else? The president. This guy. There's not really much to say about him, but like he was a good antagonist.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, so pretty much my standout scenes were the interview scene, which is my favorite.
Okay.
I like that scene where Lois and Clark are, I think they're in Superman's apartment, and there's like a big fight with like
Mm-hmm.
a space imp, and the Justice
Okay.
Gang is fighting him, is fighting it, and Superman's like, just an interdimensional imp. Don't worry about it, they got this. I just really found that scene to be funny. I like the Lex and the Superman and Lex scene, their final scene together, where basically he basically tells Lex, "Hey, listen, I'm just as human as anybody. I care about people. I'm scared and all that stuff." And I think, at least to me, that was basically telling like, "Hey, listen, you may not be a fan of Superman, but like, he, basically to me, what I found so special about that scene was saying how like it was a way to kind of get people on board with Superman. People who have been saying for years how Superman is boring, he's OP and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I felt that that was a scene basically created especially for that movie, and I found that really, really interesting.
For me,
Let's.
would be also be the black hole scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You mean the? Oh yeah, the pocket universe.
yeah, that scene was interesting. Like the way
Yeah.
that yeah.
So I like the needle drop scene with Mr. Terrific. The
Okay.
one where they're investigating, they're looking for Superman, and we basically have a taste of what Mr. Terrific can do with his T spheres, and I found that really cool. Let's see. What did you think of Crypto?
I liked him. I
You,
liked him.
you didn't find him annoying?
I mean, I don't have a dog, so I
Mm,
don't know like when a dog is annoying. But there's parts that he could have been useful. I'll be
mm.
honest. But like, it's a dog, so you don't expect a dog to always like behave,
That is
right?
true. That is
Yeah.
true.
But he was like useful at some parts, like attacking Lex. Yeah. So I liked him.
Me too. Let's see. What did you think of the Jor-El twist?
What's that?
So you know how usually in the origins of Superman, Jor-El always sends Kal-El to Earth as a way to basically help human beings. But in the movie, they twist it to where Jor-El sends Kal-El to just,
The father. Yeah.
to basically, have a harem of women, subjugate Earth and stuff like that, and all of that. What did you think of the twist? Where they made
That was
basically.
evil. That was evil.
Did you like that change?
Yeah, it's different from what we like usually see. I was like, okay, let's just wait like what's gonna happen next. And then the way that humans acted was really like realistic, because he's a guy who can like fight anything, indestructible. So we don't know like what's his true attention. So no, I did like it.
Yeah, me too. I like the twist. It made things interesting, fresh. It really makes us, how can you say? It basically changes the status quo within the mythos of Superman, where it's not the usual same thing over and over again. It's very similar to how they
Yes.
did with the Batman, how Bruce Wayne realizes that his parents aren't as good as he believed them to be.
Yeah.
So I like that little change that they made there. It's unapologetically comic booky.
Yes.
So if
The
you
visuals.
if you picked up a comic book, it's very unapologetic. The movie, in terms of pacing wise, really makes you, how can you say, it really forces you to really be like, okay, these are the characters, you know them, either catch up or fall behind, pretty much.
Yeah, no,
So,
for sure.
what did you think of that, the overt comic book nature of this film?
It was good. It was pretty accurate in my opinion. I like the visual the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brand new fresh, like it's a brand new like Superman, but it was really accurate. So it just shows that Superman is not really invincible. He's
Mm-hmm.
also human. So that's one thing I liked
Yeah,
about the whole
I'm.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I like too. But I also am kind of like, I'm a bit worried because usually when you make these movies, you always try to make it accessible to the general audience, people who don't
Mm-hmm.
know comic books. But my worry is that due to the very overtly comic book nature of this film, I'm afraid that it might turn some people off
Mm-hmm.
because of how
Yeah.
comic booky it is. And there's nothing really much to, I guess, ground it, I guess, into reality in a sense, because basically Metropolis gets destroyed at least three times in this movie.
They have a
One
big. Yeah. Go ahead.
by the hammer of Baravia, a kaiju, and then the city gets torn apart in two. So I'm kind of like, why hasn't anybody moved?
Yeah. People are still. No, man. That's one thing. I'm guessing the budget to fix the whole city must be high, bro, because three
Yeah,
times, man.
Lex Luthor better pay for that shit.
Yeah. No, for sure. But
Yeah.
I heard that people were like complaining, saying that the movie is like too cartoonish, like too
Yeah,
cartoon.
I would understand that feeling, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who grew up watching Justice League and Justice League Unlimited and watched a lot of animated cartoons and stuff like that, to me, it made sense, but like, it
Yeah.
didn't bother me as much, but I'm just saying
No.
that I'm worried for the uninitiated, the general audience and stuff like that, how they would react to it.
No,
Uh,
that's true.
have you ever watched The Boys?
The boys, of course, man, of course.
Yeah, I'd have to say this movie reminds me a lot of The Boys and Invincible. Basically similar to, how you watch Invincible. I've never read Invincible. I've never
Mm-hmm.
heard of Invincible before that show came out. But what I enjoyed so much about that show was that if you knew about superheroes and comic book characters and all of that, you would be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you knew the dynamics of like the world of like Marvel and DC, you're good. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's true.
What did you think of the humor in this movie, the jokes?
There's times that I didn't get it, bro.
You
I
didn't
think
get
it's because I think it's because I'm like too old. But I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, haha, haha. But like I felt like probably their target like audience was for like younger kids. Well, not
Yeah.
younger kids, but like younger people. But no, no, it was a different vibe.
Yeah,
But
that
I
is
enjoyed
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that is something James Gunn likes to do. He has his own like brand of humor.
Hmm.
I would say that the jokes weren't as heavy as they were in his other movies,
Like Guardians of the Galaxy.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. What did you think of the music in this movie? Like they used the old John Williams score and all that stuff. What did you think of that?
Most of them were good. Just one music typically is when Lois and Mr. Fantastic went to the beach.
But yeah, the needle drop.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, like I want the music to be over with it. But other than that, like I liked it. Like the theme for Superman, I'm like, okay, like it's gas, right? So I liked it. You?
We worked it for this movie. There's not a lot of needle drops in this movie, which I found pretty cool. It's very like driven by the score and the characters and stuff like that. So that's something that I really liked. What did you think of the Kents in this movie?
No comments.
No comments. What do you mean?
Uh, I didn't like it.
You didn't like the Kents?
No, I didn't. It didn't.
Why?
Unfortunately, bro, I don't know. It wasn't for me. That's all.
You didn't like that?
Personally,
You didn't like that scene with Clark and his pa, and basically telling him that your actions define who you are and stuff like that.
he was supposed to be dead.
No, but in some versions, on Papa Kent, he's still alive to see his son become Superman. This isn't nothing something new, like in many versions, like especially in like I think it was Justice League or Superman the animated series. Pa Kent is still alive to see his son as Superman, but
I just personally, because the way that he's like vulnerable, it would make sense that he's dead, right?
mm-hmm.
That's what I
You,
thought.
so you so you prefer that Johnson's Kent dies,
Yes,
then he becomes Superman.
exactly.
It's just a matter of preference, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I understand that. My con was that I felt that there was a pacing issue with this movie, where I don't know, it just felt like the movie was moving too fast. Like it took me about 10-15 minutes to get the hang of this movie, but after those 10-15 minutes passed, I immediately was like, I get what James Gunn is trying to do in terms of story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of that? What did you think of the pacing?
I feel like the reason why the pacing was too fast, it's because they were introducing like a bunch of like characters all at the same time
and a whole bunch of storylines.
Exactly. So that's why like.
Do you think the film would have been better if it was longer a bit?
Longer, yes.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree, because from what I understood was that this film was going to be like a week in the life of Superman, and that originally the movie was supposed to be like we start Monday, next day is Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's how the film was going to be. But due to test screenings, they kind of abandoned that idea.
The idea? Okay, that would make sense. But I just think that the movie should have been longer because the characters, they're not bland. Like, they all have like their own unique personality. They were not like characters from Men of Steel. So they had their own personality, but I just think that they were throwing characters all at the same time. So that's why like the pacing, I didn't like it as much, and there's a lot of things going on. I would be lost. There's times, bro, I was zoning out, bro. I'm like, whoa, like what are we doing? So no, but the pacing could have been better. Hopefully for the next movie, for the sequel, they could fix it. And then,
yeah, hopefully they do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did you think of Ultra?
I feel like introducing him was too soon.
What do you mean?
Like Ultraman, I feel like he could have been like a good like antagonist for the next movie. I feel like they should have teased him at the end, not like because there were too many villains, bro. Let's be real. Okay. There's too many villains.
Too much stuff going on.
Exactly. So they should have like teased him at the end or introduced him as like the next villain for the next movie. That's what I think. Or they should have focused on him like as the main one, but they didn't.
Okay, I see.
But yeah.
For me, I felt that Ultraman should have been Bizarro.
Thank you.
In my opinion, because basically the way that Lex Luthor described him, where he basically said that he took a strand of Superman's hair and grew him in a lab, and he's basically not intelligent, and that he only follows Lex Luthor's commands, and which I'm starting to think
off.
Yeah, it felt a bit off, and I don't like this whole thing where the hero has to fight himself, which to me is like boring when they do that in movies. Like T'Challa, he has to fight like Killmonger, who's like a dark version of himself. In Iron Man, he has to fight the Ironmonger. Like, I don't know, I just felt that sometimes it just felt too boring to me.
Too lazy,
and I just felt that character should have been Bizarro. That's just my opinion. But I don't think he's dead. He was sucked into a black hole, so either he comes back as Bizarro or he turns into Ultraman, because there's an alternate version in another universe called Ultraman, who's basically evil Superman. So who knows? Maybe they might do that in the future.
We'll see.
This is just a small nitpick, but like I feel that Superman's rogues gallery are underplayed, and I would have liked to see like other villains within the world of Superman make their big screen debut, like Brainiac or Metallo or Livewire or Parasite. You know, like I really like Lex Luthor. I like what Nicholas Holt did, but I would have preferred seeing villains like the ones
Like
that
a
I just
stronger
mentioned.
one.
Not stronger ones, but like other villains that we haven't seen before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something that I would prefer to see. Of course, as I said before, I would have liked to see a bit more of Clark Kent and the Daily Planet. What did you think of the Daily Planet, Carl? The people who worked there,
Uh, what's that guy's name?
the editor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
guy.
Perry White. That's Wendell Pierce. He's a really good actor.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I liked him. No, he played a good role to expose Lex. I just thought that his character. At first, I thought his character would be like nothing, right? So he caught me by surprise towards the end when he actually worked his ass off to try to expose Lex.
Hmm.
Even though he has to hang out with that girl at the end, but he put his pride on the
Oh no no,
side. And
you mean Jimmy Olsen, right?
Jimmy Olsen, yeah, yeah.
Yeah yeah, you meant Jimmy Olsen, not Perry White.
No,
So yeah yeah yeah, yeah that boy got riz. That boy got riz for real for real. Yeah. So yeah.
the editor, it's the black guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
Wendell Pierce, Perry White.
I don't know. He probably had like 3 minutes of like screen, bro.
Yeah,
You didn't see
so
as much of him.
yeah, yeah. It wasn't. I felt that the Daily Planet team felt a little underdeveloped, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So hopefully they fix that in future movies. I did hear that they're looking to give him like his own spin-off show, Jimmy Olsen, where he basically it's like a crime anthology show where we see Jimmy Olsen investigating villains from the DC universe, like Gorilla Grodd, Joker, things like that. So that'll be very interesting to see.
Is it coming out next year?
No, no, no. It's a rumor now, so
It's a
it's still in
rumor. Okay.
speculation.
Okay.
So let's talk about Superman and the future, in his future in the DCU. So what do you think of a Superman sequel? What do you want to see?
I want him to be more of a leader in the upcoming like
So
movies.
set up Justice League pretty much.
Basically, yeah. Because I feel like he was like a lone wolf, which there's nothing wrong with that, but Superman, he's like a symbol, right? So he's supposed to
Hmm.
be a leader. So I'm hoping they show like his leadership like in the future. And yeah,
Who do you want as the villain for the next film?
General Zod.
I
Do you
want
think that's like too
Brainiac.
soon?
I want
Brainiac.
Brainiac
Okay.
because we've
Probably
seen General Zod before. I want to see Brainiac.
sure. I hope they introduce Batman too, like
Yeah,
soon.
so we'll see. I mean, James Gunn did say that there were rumors online that the next film would be a world's finest movie.
Hmm.
But James Gunn basically said we're not doing that. We're not doing the Batman v Superman thing. And I don't understand. Like this man is playing coy, but like whenever they, like James Gunn is on social media, right?
Yeah.
So this man, whenever he like answers fans' questions and stuff like that, and he's been playing really coy when it comes to like Superman sequel stuff like that. He's saying that I'm writing the sequel, but I'm not writing the sequel, things like that. And I don't know. Like, I mean, I think that they're just waiting to wrap up the theatrical run. And then, from there on, they'll figure out what they do sequel wise, whether Gunn directs it or whatever. Uh, what did you think of, what did you think of Supergirl? Because that's the next movie coming up pretty soon.
I don't. She was in the movie for like 30 seconds, voice,
Hmm.
but I have to see more.
More of her? Okay.
Yeah, so excited for a movie to see like what she can do and stuff like that. Wasn't she supposed to be older or something like that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, from what I understand, this next movie is supposed to be like basically, we follow Supergirl as she ventured into space.
Mm-hmm.
And this was going to be like, it's based off a comic book, the next film from the
Yeah, I saw
DCU.
that.
called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So basically, this is kind of like her visiting planets with red suns because like in the say in the what they say in the movie is that if Kryptonians are exposed to red sun, they can metabolize alcohol, so they get drunk faster. So, and from what I also understood is that we're also going to see Jason Momoa as Lobo.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
okay. No, I did see that, but I thought it was a rumor. I
No,
saw
no,
that on
J-
Twitter. No.
Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo in that movie. So they've
Okay.
already wrapped up filming. So that film is going to be released in July 2026. So next year, pretty much.
Next year? Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, so what I want to see in the movie is basically more character development on this Superman. Hopefully, we see Brainiac and we see like Supergirl and Superman like team up in order to fight Brainiac or something like that. And we see more of this new DCU because essentially what Gunn has said is that this is a already developed DC universe. Like Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, all these characters are out there. So we'll just need to follow these characters as they go along pretty much. There's also what I said before, Mr. Terrific show, which they might be working on.
Hmm.
So what do you think of that?
I can't wait. No. Like, he played a huge part. Like, no. And he needs to shine more because in his old, like, movies and shows, he never really shined. So it's his time
Yeah, I agree.
to shine. Yeah.
Eddie Gassegi really needs to
Yeah.
get more attention, more people to view him and stuff like that. So I hope that's the case. And what do you think happens to Lex Luthor? Because he's being sent to Belle Reve, which is where the Suicide Squad are being kept. I'm assuming that Lex might make a deal with Amanda Waller
To get out.
and to get out, and where he gets like immunity or something like that, or presidential pardon or whatever. So either they I don't know, they do something like in the comics where Lex Luthor runs for president, or I don't know,
We
maybe.
never know. But I
Um,
have high hopes, though. I'm not too
or
worried about that.
and I want to see Lex Luthor wear the battle suit in the sequel where he fights
Sequel, yeah.
Superman's head on or something.
Yeah. That would be interesting because he knows his, like,
Yeah,
his weak point.
at this point, like he's that much of a hater. I'm like, God damn, I'll fight you, with
1v1.
1v1,
Yeah.
pretty
No,
much.
for sure, for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about box office, Carl. So in terms of box office, this film, its budget was 225 million. Plus, you also add on marketing to that, which I think is about 100 million, I guess. And from what I've just researched, is that this film it's already become profitable. Right now, it is 550 million right now at the box office.
Hmm.
It's not doing well internationally, but domestically, it's doing very well. It just already beat out Fantastic Four,
As it should.
as it should, and it's the first time that a DC film has beaten a Marvel film since 2008.
Really.
Because you remember 2008, what did we have? Iron Man and The Dark Knight.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's pretty. This is a pretty good sign for DC,
Yeah.
and that a lot of what James Gunn is planning for the next 10 years, we're going to be following suit, pretty much.
But I hope, like, the salary would be higher for the characters because I heard people were saying that they were, like, underpaid.
Yeah, David Cornswet, he's a pretty much a relative newcomer to Hollywood.
Okay.
So he got paid K, same with Rachel Brosnahan. Whereas Nicholas Hoult, because he's been in a lot of movies, only got 2 million.
Yeah. But I know it will change, so.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So what else is coming out for DC? So Supergirl's coming out. Peacemaker season 2 is coming out in August, pretty soon. I just rewatched the season 1.
I
So
need to do the same thing too.
yeah, Supergirl, I already said that. There's a Clayface horror movie coming out in September 2026. So,
Batman.
I mean, James Gunn has said that we won't see Batman in this movie, but this is going to be basically like a Clayface origin story, pretty much. What do you think about that? A Clayface horror movie.
Kind of disappointed, but it's not what I was expecting. But like, it is
I
what
mean,
it is.
what do you think of horror, Carl?
I don't watch Horror movies. I'm more like a horror gamer. Like I like playing it, but movies I can't do it, bro. I can't do it, bro. I don't
I
care.
mean,
Say what you want, bro. I can't.
okay, I understand that. I'm very interested in seeing what this movie is. I think Clayface is one of those characters who doesn't get a lot of attention, and I'm happy that they're doing this with this movie. They already have a director, an actor involved. Right now, from what I heard, they're going to start filming pretty soon. So I'm very excited to see that. And maybe Batman might show up, or maybe not. We'll see.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to
Let's wait and
see.
see.
Besides that, we don't have any other movies for the DCU. The only thing that they do have in 2027 is The Batman Part 2, which they're going to start filming in January 2026. And I
That's
think.
so far, bro.
No, they're going to start filming in 2026, and the movie comes out in 2027.
That's 5 years later.
I know, but honestly, I'd much rather that they take their time instead of just rushing it out. At least that's my opinion.
Okay.
So, we'll hear casting rumors soon. Speaking of Batman, do you see Robert Pattinson joining this universe, or...
I feel like he's like Christian Bale, have his own like trilogy. I don't think he'll fit with them personally. What about
Well,
you?
I'm of the opinion that, like, business-wise, it won't make sense to have two Batman running around at the same time.
Yeah.
Although Gunn has said that they won't release the Batman Part 2 and Batman Brave and the Bold in the same calendar year. So it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
The thing with Gunn is that he's been playing coy with that subject, basically saying that we respect Matt Reeves, his vision, and stuff like that, but we want him to kind of, do his thing, but at the same time we don't know. So he's basically doing doublespeak, saying that we respect his vision, but we don't know. And what do you think of that? Having two Batmen running around at the same time.
Oh. Yeah. No, it makes sense now. It.
From a
Oh.
business perspective, because keep in mind,
It's gonna hurt.
people won't know
It's
the
gonna
difference
hurt.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Definitely. Because if it's like two Batmans but two different characters, yeah, no, you're kind of right.
So we'll see as we kind of move forward. From what I understood was that originally Brave and the Bold was supposed to be like, how can you say? It's supposed to introduce Damian Wayne, Robin, and then it'll show the other members of the Bat family.
Yes.
Pretty much that's what the movie's going to be. It's going to be like a Batman and Damian movie, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like Damian Wayne at all. And what Gunn has said about this movie is that he doesn't want to do like a campy, jokey Batman. He wants to make his Batman dark and serious, but different than the one that we see with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. Oh no. It's gonna cause like so many conflict in my
Pretty
opinion.
much.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so that's their problem. They'll have to figure that out pretty soon.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they'll have to figure that out pretty soon because they really need to get a Batman within this universe. They've already set up Superman. From what I heard is that they're working on a Wonder Woman film. They're writing the script
Oh,
right now.
thank God.
Did you hear that they're making a Bane and Deathstroke movie?
Never heard that
Yeah,
before.
they're working on a Bane and Deathstroke movie.
Huh.
What do you think of that?
Okay. That should be interesting. Was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, what else are they working on? There's a lot of movies that they announced, but I think they'll come out, but James Gunn has said that if they're going to make a movie, they won't make it until the script is finished.
Finished, yeah.
Which, to me, I kind of found a bit funny because they're filming Avengers Doomsday right now, and one of the actors, Rebecca Romaine, basically said that they haven't finished the script for Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, I saw the same thing too on Twitter. They said that the ending, they don't know what to do, so they're using Chat GPT for help. I'm like, yo, what? Ugh. Well, let's wait and see.
Let's deviate a bit, Carl.
Yeah.
Do you think Avengers Doomsday makes $1 billion or $2 billion?
Just because Robert Downey Jr. is in it, I feel like it might hit 1 billion. It might. If not, it'll hit like 800 million.
Yeah, I'm somewhat concerned
Yeah.
in all of that. So let's try to get back on track.
Yeah.
What do you rate this movie, Carl? What's your rating out of 10?
8.2 out of 10.
I gave it an
8
8 out of 10, pretty much.
That's good.
Yeah, so before we close off, I have a question here from Ahmed from the Black Film Collective, who asks, did you think this movie had too many characters? What do you think, Carl? Do you think this film had
Yeah,
too many characters?
it did because it also affected the pacing. If you had like less characters, the pacing would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But just because they're throwing out a bunch of characters at the same time, the pacing was like all over the place. The stories were like same thing all over the place. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they did have a lot of characters, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I felt the same way too. I mean, it made, like, from what I understood was that James Gunn, his philosophy is that when it comes to DC now, they have their diamond characters. And those diamond characters are Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Supergirl. And that DC has other characters who aren't as well known. So their philosophy now, or at least their plan, is to have, let's say, a character like Mr. Terrific interact with Superman. Because that, hey, I saw this character with Superman, who's a diamond character, I can now use that to help Mr. Terrific get his own show. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, for example, we saw Guy Gardner in this movie, right? So because I saw Guy Gardner with Superman in the movie, I can now, like, put that in my mind and make sure that I know, hey, I can, next time I'll see Guy Gardner will be in this new Lantern show coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
So basically the idea now is that, or at least I think that what the idea was that to add these characters in so that they can become recognizable later on in the future. I do agree, yes, there were too many characters, but I do think that the idea was to basically use those characters, their interaction with Superman, and basically have them, like, you know, use them basically standing side by side with Superman, use that clout, and help them with their future project if they ever decide to use these characters ever again, pretty much.
Okay.
So it's the same thing that I think that they'll do with, like, I don't know, Batman. So let's say people don't know who Clayface is. Hey, I saw this guy Clayface fight Batman in one movie. So my mind recognizes him from that movie. I can now, like, be more invested into what what that character does in the future, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's about wraps up our spoiler discussion regarding Superman. Of course, Carl, it's always great to have you here, and, you know, hopefully we'll do more of this in the future.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, Carl. So what are you watching right now? What TV show or movies are you watching?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm watching Love Island. I'm watching it with the girlfriend though.
Okay,
That's
I won't
different.
judge. I won't judge. I won't judge.
So I'm watching Love Island.
Well, for me, Stranger Things is coming out pretty soon, so
Okay.
I'm rewatching Stranger Things. I'm at season 2 right now. What else am I watching? Dexter Resurrection.
I'm actually watching Dexter right now. I'm at season 3. I'm at season 3, episode 4. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. What else am I watching? There's a new Alien show coming out pretty soon, so I'm very excited for that. Alien Earth. Have you ever seen the Alien movies?
I seen the most recent one that came out like a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
of
there's a
course.
new show coming out pretty soon, which I'm excited for. This Friday, I'm going to go watch this new horror movie called Weapons.
Is it with Ice Cube?
It ain't War of the World. It ain't War of the Worlds, man. Whole different movie.
I know. I was trying to make a joke. I was trying... my bad.
Whole different movie, Carl. Whole different movie.
I'm sorry. Keep it going. Yeah.
Anyway, as I was saying, so it's this new horror movie. It's from, the director's name is Zach Kreger. He made films like Barbarian that came out, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. Have you seen Barbarian, Carl?
I haven't. Barbarian.
Watch it.
What?
I think you'll like it.
I'm scared now. I'm scared.
Yeah, you need to get past the sphere of horror movies, Carl. Like, for real, for real.
I know. I will. I will.
Yeah.
I'm turning 26, so I have to, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that pretty much covers it. So of course, as per usual, people, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more videos like this. There will be some changes coming to BCM reviews. Instead of doing these long 1 hour videos, I might make either 5 to 10 minute videos. Might be making little YouTube shorts, and hopefully either during the fall or winter I might do a review, which has been asked from Ahmed from the Black Film Collective, The Wire, so I might do that pretty soon. Yeah, so of course, peace guys, love the support, and we'll see you guys later.